up, Niners faithful? This is Juju Talk Sports. Jose Corral. 49 reasons to listen, but plenty of reasons to hit subscribe. And let's go ahead and get into the game preview for Sunday Night Football. I know I'm ready. Whoa, it's Sunday night. I can't do the rhythms. I can't do the harmonies. But you know what I can do? Give you an honest projection of how this Sunday is going to go. I know I'm still getting roasted for my horrible, awful, terrible bad take against the New York Giants. But silly me, I thought the Giants were better than our practice squad. Guess I was wrong. Anyway, obviously the Niners coming off a big week a couple weeks in New York. Now they get to face another NFC East opponent. That's going to be the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday Night Football. And the first question I'm going to ask you out the gate, Jose, are the Eagles a good team?
No, they're not a good team. They're beat up. Carson Wentz looks beat up, or he looks like he doesn't even want to play this season. I don't know what's going on with Carson Wentz. That offensive line is struggling to protect Carson Wentz. He has no weapons that are really available. The defense isn't any better either. Joe Burrow was running all over them in the second half. So no, the Eagles are not a bad team. I don't think they have too much talent and have the injuries. I'll give them the injuries to be considered a bad team. I'm not going to go as far as saying they're one of the worst teams in the league, but what we've seen the first 3 weeks of the season, I can't consider them a good team. I can't consider them that much better than the Giants, if I'm being completely honest. If we're basing this off of the first 3 seasons, the first 3 weeks and the first 3 games, they don't look that much better than the Giants, if I'm being completely honest. And set aside all the injuries, that's the team that's going to be showing up on Sunday. If that same team that shows up on this Sunday night that showed up against the Bengals, the rookie quarterback Bengals, the Niners should have no problems with this game. But right now, the Eagles are just deflated with injuries. They have the injury bug, just like the Niners. But hey, the Niners are pulling up wins. And the Eagles, it's not like the Eagles have been playing this crazy schedule where they've been playing crazy teams that are just a lot better than them. They're not playing that good of a schedule, and they're still losing games. So, no, the Eagles right now are not a good team.
Insane statistic, but you realize this past Sunday, the Niners had 40% of the salary cap inactive. 40%. Any other team, and they still beat the Giants by 20-plus points.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. How good are the Niners? Are they a touchdown favorite against a desperate Philadelphia Eagles team? You realize if the Eagles don't win this one, they're going to be 0-3-1, and they get to face the Steelers and the Ravens the following week. There is a potential for them potentially to go 0-5-1, which, as bad as the NFC East is, and it's bad, folks, it's damn bad. I mean, the Washington football team, who technically also has a half-game advantage, being that they beat these Eagles, is leading that division at the moment. Touchdown favorite, even with all the injuries. Do you think that's fair for the Niners?
I think it's completely fair, especially we kind of talked on the line against the Giants last week, how we saw all the injuries for the Niners team, and we were like, maybe that line, like Juju, you yourself, we predicted a Giants win. Sorry to kind of hammer you on that again, but after what we saw this past week and what we saw from the Eagles, -7 is completely fine. I think a lot of people are going to bet that line. You might see it fluctuate to half a point in Vegas over the next couple of days, just because the Eagles are just not that good. I know they have the injuries, but man, the Niners have injuries too. But for some reason, the Niners the past couple of weeks seems like they could, win games with the players that they're throwing out there. And the Niners are actually getting a little bit healthier as well. It looks like Deebo Samuel might be ready to go this week, which is going to be huge. So I think, -7 is completely fine for me. That's a line that I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to say it's going to be a little bit more, but we'll talk about our score prediction a little bit later. But, -7 is completely fine.
Speaking of the injury bug starting to lessen on the Niners, so you mentioned Deebo's name. He's back. It looks like George Kittle is going to be back. Jimmy was standing the majority of the game on the sideline. Given that, I project he will probably be out there starting again. I believe he missed Wednesday's practice as of this recording. Still no word on what his Thursday participation was. I was excited about how they used Ayuk. One thing let's talk about like the source of the Eagles' troubles. Mm-hmm. Their offensive line has been banged up. Their wide receiving core has been decimated. Carson Wentz is making bad decisions. Carson Wentz is out there trying to play hero ball with little protection and no one to throw to. And I think that's a problem because it's led to him throwing 6 interceptions through 3 games. If you are a little bit slower on the math side, that equates to 2 interceptions a game. Do I think the Niners could pick him off twice? That might be a little bit of a stat abnormality if Carson Wentz has 8 interceptions through 4 games. But I would say one thing I noticed about the Giants game, because obviously when you lose Nick Bosa, when you lose Dee Ford, when you lose all these key guys on the defensive line like the Niners did, you expect the pass rush, the pressure, to not be nearly as good. I was surprised. All these guys, Kerry Hyder, Deion Jordan, Ziggy Ansah in limited action, they were able to get a little bit of a pass rush going. That's a credit to Chris Krasaric, our defensive line coach. And if they're able to do that against the Giants, they should be able to do that against arguably a worse offensive line in this Eagles team. And that's going to make things hard for Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz isn't nearly as mobile as he was a few years ago when we were talking about the 2017 MVP race. And I think that's a big problem with this Eagles team. When I asked you the question, are they a good team? I feel as though they're living off reputation because I'm guilty of this. If you haven't checked out my power rankings, thislumpbuster.com, shameless plug, thislumpbuster.com, go ahead and check out my power rankings weekly. I have the Eagles currently, as of this moment, I have them 24, and I felt gross about it. I felt like you could have made an argument that a couple teams that I have behind them are better than them. Miami Dolphins, close. Atlanta Falcons, close. Jacksonville Jaguars, I thought they were going to go 0-16, but Gardner Minshew's shown that he's got a little bit of heart. The Bengals, they just tied them. The Redskins, they beat them. And, sorry, I'm Washington football team. I'm still getting used to it, guys. At 24, I didn't even feel bad about it. And I had this team as a top 10 team starting the year. I'm still kind of debating on what I should do with the Niners given the injuries. I still have them at 6, but yeah, I just don't know what to make of this Eagles team. Again, we got to talk about the desperation. The desperation, I feel, is the biggest element because they almost can't lose this game. They really can. It puts their entire playoff hopes in line. I know that they still can win that division, but you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're having to battle back from 0-5-1 potentially. I don't know. Should we just go into the score predictions, Jose?
No, yeah, I think we pretty much covered it. Both teams are banged up, super banged up. But I think the Niners are getting a little bit more healthier at key positions, and I think that's going to make a buttload of difference come Sunday. Even without those injuries, if I'm being completely honest, even with some of those injuries getting better for the Niners, even if I'm being honest, if the same team that played against the Giants rolled up this Sunday night, I would still be confident in that -7 line.
Okay. Let's see. Put a score on it.
We're going to go – okay, so last week the Niners offense with Nick Mullins was able to surprise me. They were able to put up a 30 bomb. So I'm going to go 31-20 Niners.
I feel as though the Eagles defense, even with the addition to Darius Slay, Fletcher Cox still being there, it hasn't looked as good either. There's not a lot to love about the Eagles at the moment. I'm going to be a little bit more generous to them and say something along the lines of 28-21, something along those lines. Okay. Maybe it's one of those backdoor covers where they're down by a couple scores in the game and just need to work their way back into it. I struggle with this team. It's a big primetime game. You would think if there's ever a time for a team like the Eagles to want to show up, it's probably then and now. But equally, if you're the Niners, this is the best part of your schedule to strike and win games because it gets a lot tougher here in a couple weeks, guys. And we'll definitely talk about that. But if you want to be along for that journey, you know what you have to do? You have to hit that subscribe button, faithful. You got to like this video. You got to debate with us. You got to comment below, and that way we can talk it out. And with that said, guys, hopefully I'm right this week. If not, then I'm just going to assume I'm a jinx and I should pick the Niners to lose every week. That's what you can expect from us moving forward. Anyway, faithful, we'll see you next time. We'll see you on the next episode.